Yes, sir.
What do you think happened at the end of the year when things came together? Was it the fact that we beat the Steelers in the world? We kicked the Steelers' ass.
Oh, that helps. Wins instill confidence. And the more confidence you get, the better you play. And you stay with what you work on during the week. You know, it's kind of jumping the fence. We've talked about it. We have a Florida Gator in the house. And I really liked it till she told me that. And I told her, I went to Oklahoma and the Gators beat us for the national championship, so I'm not really fond of Florida. But we were talking about Tebow going to Denver, and he's a competitor. Don't get me wrong, he really is a competitor. But you have to have certain skills to play certain positions, and the biggest concern about Tebow is his release is kind of slow and his release is too low. And then on a National Football League, the cornerbacks will jump all over that. They'll jump your passes. So they're trying to get him to change that, and obviously he did enough to impress somebody to be drafted in the first round. But I just hope it is so hard that when you switch to something new and it hadn't been tested, and when it is tested, if it's not successful, you're going to revert back to what got you there in the first place, the old way. I wouldn't be real mad because it's Denver, but it happens, you know.
You ran the Wishbone that's when I first saw you. Did you have a tough time adjusting to be now not in an offense like that where you got the ball sort of in the open, where you had to sit behind the fullback, and you knew it wasn't going to be the flash and dash and all the thing, and you were running the ball. Did you have some problems adjusting to that kind of offense?
Practice. And I was a receiver, switched to a running back in college. I went to Oklahoma as a receiver. And I came out of high school, I was a quarterback. So I had like 3 position change, all of them I hated, but it was the best thing that ever happened to me. So sometimes people know what's better for you than you do yourself.
You averaged 9.4 yards a carry your senior year, is that right?
Yeah, 9.4. Yeah.
That's still good.
I guess.
As far as fan base, and I'm not asking you to kiss ass or anything. But,
we don't want that.
Compared to Cleveland and Oakland, come on.
L.A.
Oh yeah,
LA. Well, actually, our name was the Holiday Inn Raiders. We opened our first year with the Raiders. We opened in San Francisco, and the commentator called us the Holiday Inn Raiders because they said we were the only team in the National Football League that took a bus to an away game and a plane to a home game. And that was true. That was true. We went to San Francisco on a bus and went to LA on a plane. We were going home. What was the question again? Oh, the fan base. Oh, nobody. I said I opened with that. There's no better fans than Cleveland fans. Yeah.
The Browns player was the toughest defense you ever faced.
Oh, we talked about that earlier. Well, Houston. We always managed to beat Houston, but Houston was a very, very physical team. I mean, you knew you were in a battle after the Houston game. Well, it wasn't the Steelers.
Who gave you the toughest thing you ever got?
A guy named Julius Adams. Now, I wonder how I still remember that. Yeah, I played with New England Patriots. He hit me in the top of the head. He ran behind me on a sweep, and they jammed everything up. And when I went to cut up, he hit me in the top of the head. And he didn't get fined either.
How many games do you think we could win this year?
How many is it going to take to make the playoff?
10.
It's going to take at least 10 games. I think we'd be right at 10 games. Yeah. I do. I believe that. Yeah.
Why though? What's changed to make you do that?
A little inside information. Well, okay. when you have a bad season, your schedule tend not to be as difficult the next year. So that helps.
We got one.
But ours is one of the top.
Yeah, we got one of the toughest schedules.
8th toughest.
And when you also
Cleveland Brand.
fill the positions that of need, it depends on how good the players that you put in those positions. And I'm being optimistic that they did a better job of picking guys that's going to fill our needs. And remember, we ain't just so bad. We got better at the end of the season too now.
Yeah.
So if we can continue that and we get help, you know, we had a tough schedule last year. I mean, we had one of the toughest schedules. Yeah,
Who's
yeah.
going to be the quarterback?
The kid out of North Carolina.
Okay.
There you go.
Spell.
He's a veteran, and he's a pretty good quarterback. He's going to be an interim quarterback until McCoy is ready to play.
Really? You think?
Yeah. Wallace, yeah. I mean, it's good competition at that position. They can't do nothing but help.
Which gave you more enjoyment as a pro? Rushing for 100 yards in a game or throwing some of those touchdown passes as a halfback?
Hey, you know what? I don't get credit for my touchdown passes. I threw some long touchdown passes too. And that's not on my stats. You know, they don't have them yards. You know, they give all them yards to the quarterback. You throw 5 yards out, you go 90 yards the next day, 90-yard ball. He didn't say we ran 90 yards. Do a pass that far. But I really appreciated the fans. I really knew you were there, and I know the difference in when I left Cleveland, going to another team and getting comparison to home field. Cleveland was really not a place a lot of people like to come play. And that's what you want at home field. You don't want people comfortable when they come to your home field and play. And so that's a credit to the fans. But I guess my biggest satisfaction as a player was I wanted to show the fans in some way how I appreciated them. And the first year I got 1,000 yards, I knew I was going to get 1,000 yards. I was close enough. I was like within 200 yards, like 215, something like that. 200 yards, something like that. From getting 1,000, I had like 3 games left in the season, but only had 1 home game left. So if I was going to get 1,000 yards, I had to get over 200 yards at home. And I managed to get it against Kansas City. And the fans gave me a standing ovation, just like I knew they would.